Hi, my name is Andrea Tori Balsara, and I'm an author and illustrator for children up to young adults. And my book, The Great and the Small, was published by Commandeer Press. It's for young adults, and I wanted to share a little bit about why I wrote it and what it's about, and also how I illustrated it. I wrote it because from a very young age, I had this burning question inside me of the nature of good and evil. What makes some people grow up and to be a Hitler, and what makes some people grow up to be a Mother Teresa or a Nelson Mandela? What was it? I didn't believe, and I don't believe, that people are born evil or good. I don't believe that, because if you're born evil, that gives you a free pass. That means how can you possibly be held to account for your actions if you're born evil? Well, I don't believe that. I believe that we are all called to do things in this world that make the world a better place. And so my question was, how does this happen? So I wrote this book to explore that question, and I wrote it through the eyes of a rat colony. One of my favorite books when I was growing up was Watership Down, about this warren of rabbits who have to fight their way out of a totalitarian regime. And I loved that book, and by the end of it, I felt like a rabbit. And so I was thinking, well, I have this question I want to answer, but how do I want to explore it? And so I decided to explore it through the eyes of rats. This rat colony decides, under the leadership of their beloved chairman, to declare war on humanity using the bubonic plague. And so death squads of plague-infected rats are sent out, and as the people start to die, things are looking pretty grim until the chairman's nephew, a little rat named Finn, gets caught in a trap and is freed by a teenage girl. And her kindness and their connection causes Finn to now have to question his actions and to question whether he can keep forward with this path that he's on or whether he's going to rebel. So that's my book. I illustrated it, and it was hard to find things to illustrate rats where they didn't look like little cartoons. So I found something online, and I used this for some of the different illustrations. This is another thing that I found online, a little felted rat. And I also did a ton of research. So I had a book on rats, illustrating things on how to illustrate rats, more rat books. But I also tied in the bubonic plague from the 1300s. So I have a ton of books from that I read all about. It was called The Great Mortality. And, you know, they think upwards of half of the European population died. And it literally reshaped the way that our society runs today. It literally reshaped it, this event that happened, you know, so many hundreds of years ago. And I was lucky enough to find this book that had eyewitness accounts from the Black Death of the 1300s. And so I used that in my book. And I also researched Stalin, who was a fascinating, terrifying figure from history. So I loved putting together this book. It took me years. It really did. I loved doing the illustrations, and it was a catharsis for me. It helped me to answer some of those questions that I've had, and I hope that you will read it and let me know what you think. Thank you.